Howdo everybody, welcome back to Let's Stream Dark Souls Prepare to Die. So last time we left off here after losing our Ring of Sacrifice to Hovel. Let me just make sure. Yes, I do in fact have my mic on. I'm always paranoid about that. Oh, please don't crash. It crashed! Lovely! Ay. I think that's the first time I've ever had Prepare to Die Edition just outright crash. Oh, that's not a good sign. That's not a good sign at all. Okay. Turn that back on. Yes, I know the game didn't shut down properly. You crashed. Thank you for telling me. I also want to apologize if y'all hear any sort of like banging noises in the background. As it was when I was playing Cursebreaker earlier, the laundry is currently running. Only this time it's Star's laundry instead of mine. Okay, so I believe we are going this way now. Because last time we got Hovel's Ring, and let's see, I believe we also got the longbow. Let's see, we got the halberd, the longbow, yeah. We've got some basic equipment. There's a couple of other areas I want to make a run to real quick to pick up some items before we really get started. And unfortunately, to get to those areas, we have to run past the drakes again, but that's okay. These guys really aren't that much of an issue. Things just outrunning their breath. Okay, that guy's gonna fly off. Yeah, he's pretty easy to avoid. Okay, so now that I'm actually coming back this way, I have no intention of going back in that direction, at least not anytime soon. So now that I'm done with my errands over on this side of it, I will actually loot these. Now you want to be careful, because you get too close to the bodies there, this guy will wake up and try to murder you. However, if you very kind of carefully inch up, you can actually loot this first body without waking him up, the Astora's Straightsword. Once again, if you are playing Remastered, do not grab these. These will completely screw up your matchmaking. And unfortunately, we have to wake up to grab that. Whoa! Watch out for that claw swipe. And honestly, that initial claw swipe is probably the most dangerous thing he can do. Because otherwise, he mostly sticks to toxic breath attacks. But he's stuck on that ledge, he can't move, so we can just grab those and go. Now, the main thing I actually wanted from looting all of that was I wanted the Dragon Crest Shield. Shield of the Nameless Knight, likely a high-ranked knight of Astora. One of the enchanted blue shields, the Dragon Crest Shield greatly reduces fire damage. And as you can see, it reduces fire damage by 85%. It is not the best shield in the game for dealing with fire damage. That's actually the Black Knight Shield, which I will hopefully manage to get my hands on. But it's not guaranteed. But it's almost as good. Like, I think the main differences between the two are, I think the Black Knight Shield has better stability and slightly better fire resistance. The fire resistance difference is minimal. It's mainly the stability. But Black Knight Shield is still preferred if we can get one. Now, because we did activate Mr. Undead Dragon down there, in the event that I die before making it to my destination, I don't want to have to run past him again. So I want to come up here real quick to have the Firelink Shrine Bonfire as my checkpoint. I don't think we have anything else we need. Oh, we do have a Firekeeper Soul. Yeah, I forgot. I picked one up earlier. Reinforce Estus. Yeah, Estus +2. Very nice. That'll help out with where I'm going. Rest here. Down we go. So if you are playing along with me and you have decided to do the same sequence break that I'm doing, if you are not doing so already, before we head to this next area, I heavily suggest you equip the Spider Shield. Because the Spider Shield has poison resistance, and where we're going has lots and lots of poison. And unfortunately, we will have to get into a couple of fights between point A and point B. Because if we try to run past too many of the enemies, we'll eventually hit a point where we have to stop and wait on an environmental set piece, which will give them time to catch up and swarm us. And these guys are the ones I want to fight. So normally, if you try to approach that one there, you'll aggro both of them from your footsteps, but if you roll into that little barricade thing there and smash it, only the guy here will hear you, and you can kind of pull them back one at a time. Now, these guys have a lot of HP. So, observe. 147. Yeah, that did a very... Like, it did a noticeable amount, but it was still very small. 206. Yeah, that did a little bit better, but it's still going to take about 5 or 6 parries to actually kill this guy with a base S stock. And keep in mind, I'm doing a two-handed riposte, which actually does increase the damage. You thankfully do have enough time to do that. But none of our weapons that we have at this point can meaningfully damage these guys otherwise. And he might actually drop something. Ew, dung pies. Yummy, yummy shit pie. Would y'all eat that? I wouldn't. And of course, we're sticking our sword right into the dung pie assembly area. Right up the butt crack. That is disgusting. I hope we clean our sword whenever we rest at a bonfire. Okay, there's one more of these guys right there. And then basically, once we kill this guy, we can just run past everything else. Okay, we're good. So, there's one particular enemy I'm actually really concerned about down here. It's an enemy that can inflict toxic if it hits us. I don't think we have enough poison resistance with our current equipment. If we actually do get hit by the attack, it will probably intoxicate us in one hit. Or toxify. I don't know what would be the sort of form that you would use for that, because intoxication implies alcohol. But no, in this case, you are literally being injected with toxins. So we want to move quickly. And right down here we have this little water wheel area. This is the part where you have to wait for a platform. You generally don't have to wait too long, but if you get unlucky, you may end up having to wait a couple of seconds, and that'll give enemies enough time to catch up. Which, you probably didn't see them because I Again, I'm just kind of running. But there are, like, flying enemies and dudes shooting at us, so we don't want to stay in one place for too long. Also, don't try to approach these things here, these little bug dudes. Don't approach them from behind. They poop lava. And while easy to avoid, the lava poop, understandably, does a lot of damage, so don't step in the lava poop. It's bad for you. Alright, we got a checkpoint. Now, unfortunately, this whole area down here is basically just a giant poison swamp. One of the items I want to grab, I'm going to have to get poisoned in order to get it, because it's on, like, the furthest reaches of the swamp here. Because, like, I can avoid getting poisoned for the most part, but there's just some stuff I won't be able to avoid. I believe what I'm looking for is over here. And, yep, there it is. That corpse right there. That's the one I need. So you'll notice when we're in the swamp water, we get slowed down. We can roll through it a little quickly, but trying to sprint through it, just kind of, we do like a slow hobble, kind of like what we were doing when we were mid-rolling back at the start. But now we're poisoned. You can see my HP's slowly going down. If I was going to get poisoned by anything, I'd rather it be from the swamp, so it's not a huge deal, but it is a concern that we will have to address. Now, we are probably going to get poisoned again, unless we change equipment. So let's get the poison cured. Now, the main reason I came down here was for a couple of armor sets and a ring. We just picked up the first armor set there, which is the Pyromancer set. If you start as a Pyromancer, you'll have this by default. The really big thing about these is this set here, I want this for the poison resistance. So, like, we have 8 here, 23 by comparison. 59 compared to 20. 35 compared to 12. And 35 compared to 12. Yeah, so with that, we can actually take a hit from the toxic enemies and not get toxic. So you can see it increased our poison resistance bar a little bit. Now I want to try and get onto this little spit of land right here. Whoa! Thankfully, the Pyromancer set, as you would probably expect, also comes with... No, that's... Ow! Not what I wanted to do. I targeted the wrong thing. Stupid auto-lock. But, Stop turning around, you idiot! Oh my lord! That is the second time that happened. I actually got hit by a toxic dart there, too. I don't know why the lock-on's refusing to lock onto that dude on the raised stair, like, little ramp thing there. Jeez. Ugh. I want to try to not waste my Estus here, because I'm going to need that on the way out. So, let's try that again. The big thing we need to do is we need to get the attention of the little dude on the ramp. And then once we get him, he will follow us, or he should anyway. He should follow us. There we go. Now you lock onto him. We need to try and bait him into coming down here if we can. Because now that we've hit him, he'll start following us around. Yeah, see, then he walks off, so now we can get up here. There's even more enemies up here we got to deal with, and you've probably noticed a few projectiles flying around. We do have a guy shooting at us. I would like to kill the guy shooting at us if I can, but I may not be able to. Because he's got a couple of these guys guarding him. So keep your shield up. And he's not here. He probably walked off the platform, judging by the sound of it. Alright, so I wanted that corpse right there, because that has the Wanderer set on it. The Wanderer set, you can get that by starting as a Wanderer. It is my personal favorite armor set in the game, because of all of the starting armors, and for most of the... Oh, I might die here. Ooh, no, but I did do a lot... I did take a lot of damage. Ow, ow, ow. Whew. Okay. Yeah, I've got way too many things coming after me for this to be safe. So let's go ahead and sit here. But of the starting armor sets, and of the light armor sets in general, the Wanderer set as a whole has the best defense to weight ratio of any light armor. So it's really, really good. I will probably, outside of very specific circumstances, be wearing the Wanderer armor for the entire game. And there we go, I've been poisoned again. I will switch out the Wanderer armor for more specific stuff as the need arises. Like in this area, for example, I'd probably wear something with more poison resist. I mistimed that dodge roll really badly. Whoa! You gotta watch out for these leeches. They can do a lot of damage. Alright, now up here... I don't care about that corpse. There's a hidden wall here. Leads to a chest. I'll take that chest, which behind it, hey, another hidden wall. This technically leads to a secret area that we're not supposed to know about, like, at all. Because I think only one NPC even vaguely hints that this is here. And even then, said NPC's dialogue does not indicate that you have to go through multiple hidden walls to find this place. But, alright. This is the bonfire I was looking for. Whew. Okay, now we have a pretty decent chance of dying, getting the next item we need. But thankfully we don't have to go too far, because the item we're looking for is on that corpse right there. So what we need to do is we need to roll and land on that, not in the hole next to it. If we fall through that hole, we will die on impact, because it's just far enough down. Oof. That did about half our health with that. And then if we drop through here, you'll see we're fine. We didn't take any damage from that part of the fall. But we fell all the way from the top up there and fell in that hole? Yeah, no, we would have died. So that's the main thing I wanted, was the Chloranthy ring. Wanted to come down here for that. I wanted the Wanderer set. I also wanted the falchion that the Wanderer set came with. And I also got the Pyromancer garb, which will be helpful for when I come back here when the game intends for me to come back here. So let's go ahead and equip that Chloranthy ring. That'll help us on the way out. What the Chloranthy ring does, by the way, is it acts like the Grass Crest shield. It increases your stamina recovery by 50%, I think. Either 50 or 30, something like that, or like 33%. Basically, it increases it by a very significant amount. Very, very helpful. And until I find something better, I'll be using that, because as you can see, we have a tiny stamina bar. So supplementing that with faster regen speed means we effectively have more stamina overall. I mean, as long as we're here, we might as well look at it. This ancient ring engraved with a large green flower is of unknown origin. Hastens the regeneration of stamina. Yep. And that stacks with the regeneration effect of the Grass Crest shield, by the way. So if I wanted to, and it wasn't incredibly dangerous, I could equip both the Grass Crest and the Spider shield, and just kind of swap between them as needed. But for now, I don't want to do that, because I will probably have to get into more fights on the way out. Specifically with those giant ogre things up at the top there. You can see how much faster the stamina is regenerating with the ring. Now, I do believe when you're stacking stamina regeneration effects, that is because it's based on a percentage, not a flat increase. It is subject to diminishing returns. Okay. So the big thing is I want to wear the Pyromancer garb going back up here, because I'm almost guaranteed to get hit by a toxic dart on the way out, because I unfortunately do not have the attack power to actually kill the guy who's shooting that's up here. And even if I did, he has a lot of backup that would finish me off quickly afterwards. So it's better just to tank the hit and just hope it doesn't toxic you, which with the Pyromancer suit, it shouldn't. Woo. So I can take one toxic hit without getting the status, and then I should be able to just move on to a safer area where he can't hit me with his projectiles. Ooh, okay. Okay, good. He hit them. He hit the scenery and otherwise missed. So, whoop, okay. Yeah, it's not always always guaranteed that something like that will happen. Oftentimes he ends up, like, grazing me in the leg or something, and I have to tank a toxic hit, but not this time, thankfully. Alright. Now we just gotta fight our way out. Now, because these guys are actually facing this direction, fighting our way out is a little bit trickier than fighting our way in. But this corner here will probably be our friend. Now, if I can actually get a good position on this guy, I might be able to backstab him off the cliff. Ooh, I might actually be able to do that here. No, his position is not quite right. And I don't think I can kick him either. Hit the button too soon. There we go. I think what it is with these guys is you have to be standing at a specific position after a parry. Like, you have to be close enough to actually trigger the riposte. And when you parry them, they reel back ever so slightly, and that knocks them out of that range. Uh-oh. Ooh, okay. Be careful with that horizontal sweep of theirs. They sometimes follow that up. And it has a lot of knockback on it. Not something you want to deal with when you're precariously fighting on a ledge. Right, let me see if I can get just that one to see me. Good, good. Uh-oh. Okay. I should be able to fight over here in relative safety, so this shouldn't be too bad. Oftentimes, I end up having to fight both of these guys at once. Not today, though. That's good. Ah, hit that too soon. So today's episode's probably going to be pretty short, because I might do a little bit of minor sequence breaking, and there goes the black screen. Nicely timed there, game. I'm going to do a little bit of minor sequence breaking with a path that we've already walked to try and get as much content in as possible before ending up. Because I want to end this off at a grinding spot where I'm going to have to do, probably close to an hour's worth of soul farming in a very specific location to take care of some front-loaded expenses. And I want to try and get as much actual content done for level up purposes as possible. Because the way I play it in this game is only the souls that I gain, within reason of course, only the souls that I have at the end of an area from going through said area are used for leveling up. I only ever farm souls if I need to buy something. And the first really useful grinding spot is in the next area we'll actually be going to. But we need to fight a boss first in order to actually get access to it. Or at least normally you would. Since we sequence broke, we don't even actually have to fight said boss. We just have to go in... Oh, there's that follow-up. We just have to go in about a third of the way through the first real area of the game to trigger a certain event. And then if we backtrack through the Valley of Drakes back to the Parish from the back end, we can trigger the creature associated with said event. And immediately get access to a really good grinding spot. I mean, heck, actually thinking about it, we don't even need to backtrack, because when we were on the bridge in the Parish, we kicked down a ladder, which will act as a shortcut. So, yeah, technically we don't even need to do that. Okay, so now that we're out of the danger zone, I'm going to change my setup. I'm going to equip the Wanderer set. And I also want to equip, let's see, as far as weapons go, Falchion does 82. I don't have the Faith for the Astora's Straight Sword. I don't have the stat requirements for much of the other stuff, so I'll go with the Falchion for now. It's a basic weapon, but it'll get the job done. And we also have a bunch of souls to use, both poppables and just from, in general, getting souls from killing enemies. So we will have a nice little head start on going into the first major area here. So before I do that, I want to rearrange my equipment. Let's see. I'm not going to be using the longsword anytime soon. So Falchion can go up top. Let's see. I will be using the halberd at some point, but I'm probably only going to use the halberd the once. Let's see. Well, I might use it a few times, actually, but I have very limited use for the halberd, because it will get quickly replaced, I assure you. Let's see. And then we have the 3 shields here. That'll be helpful, but I think otherwise everything should be okay. Reset item order. That's fine. Because it's not like I'm going to be navigating menus on the fly like that very often. Now, did that do that to my rings too, or did that just do that to my weapons? Okay, good. It just... No, it did do it to my rings. Okay, hang on. Change item order. Yep, there we go. Swap those around. And I actually do want to put the Wanderer set at the start of... I want to put the Wanderer set at the top of my armor tab, because it'll be the one I'm using the most. Going back to what I was saying earlier about the Wanderer set having the best in general weight to defense ratio, the Wanderer manchette, which is the gloves, actually is the best defense to weight ratio of any hand gear. So you already have one of the best armors in the game right at the start. So, let's see, or at least one piece of the best total armor set in the game for defense to weight. So, let's see, I also want to move the Pyromancer set up, because we will probably need that at some point for, well, not even probably, we will need it at some point for poison resistance. So we'll go ahead and put that up there, because we'll actually use those. And the rest of this stuff is just junk. I'm probably never going to wear... the warrior or brigand set again. I have no intention of wearing the leather set. Let's see. Weapons are fine. We also picked up a pyromancy, poison mist, but I'll go over that later. Alright, let's see. Looks like we're doing pretty good on stuff. So let's check our consumables real quick. How many souls do we have? We have quite a few, actually. We've got 4 different kinds of poppable souls we can use. Remember, we don't want to be using these Souls of the Lost Undead yet. We want to save those for later. So, let's get all of these. Now, if you're playing on... if you're playing the remastered version, you'll actually have an easier time doing what I'm about to do, because I have to pop all of these one at a time. In remaster, you can pop them all at once. So instead of having to use the 2 Souls of a Nameless Soldier one at a time, you can just use both of them at once and get the combined total souls for popping them all. So, it's a slow process, but I'm used to it. It's just a nice quality of life thing if you're playing remastered instead of Prepare to Die. Okay, so we got an almost 9,000 soul bonus from that. So let's see, Humanity, Black Separation Crystal for a placeholder. I believe Binoculars might come in handy for some stuff, maybe, possibly, I don't know. Homeward Bone. Okay, now, let's level up. Okay, so... I think I want to get 14 attunement for 3 spell slots. Then I want to get my intelligence, I think, to 15. I think that should allow me to cast every spell that I care to cast. And then from there, I want to get strength and dexterity to 16. Strength more so than dex. Okay, so looking pretty good. I'll save the souls I have for now. That looks pretty good. So, okay. We're not going to do as much damage with the falchion. Actually, I think the longsword might have a better stat spread than this. Let's see, so that's 82 plus 16. Because the longsword has CC for strength and dex. So because our strength is higher, the longsword might actually be a better weapon choice. So let's see, 82 base plus 16, that's 98 on the falchion. Compared to... Okay, it's the same. It's literally the same. So... yeah, we might as well just stick with the falchion. We're not going to be doing any kicks or anything, so the little circle slice thing that you do with curved swords isn't going to hurt me too bad. Well, that was a badly timed parry. Firebomb. Just die. Let's see. You dropped an axe. That'll be not useful at all. Come on down here. Okay. Whew. We had one screwed up parry, but that's not the end of the world. Might as well take this guy out. He's here. We don't want him getting lonely. And now we are actually going to progress in the direction that the game actually wants us to go, which is through here. Dang, new humanity drop. That's okay. Welcome to the Undead Burg, the first real area of the game. And this is probably the easiest area in the game in terms of combat. Because it's kind of like your tutorial area. You have the really weak enemies. They can still take a chunk out of you if you're reckless or not used to the controls quite yet. But they're fairly manageable. It's also your introduction to Dark Souls' level design, because it's pretty intricate for being a basic area. Like, for example, right here, we actually have our first little secret. These barrels are blocking something. Roll right on through. You land on this. Large Soul of a Lost Undead. And there's already traps. As you can see, coming down here causes these guys to aggro. Okay, so you may have noticed that this guy here took a little bit more damage from my swing than the guy I was actually aiming at. That's because he was reeling from me blocking his attack. I believe that causes instability frames, which means they'll take more damage. Now, I don't know if you heard when we first came in, but there was a bunch of footsteps coming from this direction. We were going up the stairs. There's actually a hollow at the end of this boarded up little alleyway, and he goes on a large circuit through here all the way around up that ladder and waits for you on top of the wall to ambush you. Now, unfortunately, we don't have a ranged weapon that we can use right now, so we can't disengage this trap from a distance. Now, if you try going for that corpse, there's 4 hollows here. We just knocked off one of them, but there's 4 hollows here, and you see they're just kind of hanging on the ledge. If you go for the corpse, all of them will climb up, but only when you get close to the corpse. So these first 2 here, we can actually go ahead and knock them off, so they're not a problem. Rubbish. Alright, let's see what else we got here. I heard the sound of somebody falling. I don't know if that was one of the hollows I knocked off, or was that the dude up here. It may have... Sounds like it's the dude up here. I think he's giving us the runaround. Let's see. Yeah, he's right there. I've actually seen him sometimes, like, he'll make the circuit, climb up here, and then run, like, up here, and then just fall back to his start point. Might have to plunging attack this guy. There we go. Get squeezed. Alright, that's not the only treasure around here, but that's all we can get in this particular area without having to double back or doing any sort of chicanery. You may notice there was originally a bridge here, but the bridge is out, so we can't go that way. Now watch your step when you come up here. Hi! That was a big drake. Okay, up there is a combat trap. There's 3 hollow... I think these are hollow warriors? Yeah, these are hollow warriors. There are 3 hollow warriors, one of which is hidden behind that palisade up there. You can kind of barely see him peeking out. But it's 3 melee units supported by a crossbowman on top of a tower who's got a height advantage over you. So, ideally what you want to do is you want to aggro the melee units and pull them back to where you're safe from getting shot. So over here is the ideal place to fight them. Now, if I had a ranged weapon, I could counter-snipe the crossbowman and just completely remove him as a factor. But for now, not much we can do. Now, you want to be careful when you're approaching a ranged unit that has a height advantage over you, because you can see he shoots downwards. If you somehow manage to intercept his crossbow bolt with your face, he will headshot you. And that's a guaranteed poise break, I'm pretty sure. No matter what your poise is. You get hit in the head with a projectile, you will flinch. So, I want to take advantage of the fact that all these guys are dead for the moment, and go over here, because there's another little secret area. So these spear dudes like to turtle. They're a little bit annoying. If you have a standard weapon that doesn't replace your kick with anything, you can just kind of kick them, and you'll knock their shield away, which will open them up. My preferred method is to hit them once. Usually that will make them counterattack by trying to stab you, and then you can parry the stab and kill them that way. Hello, trap! Alright, make sure you kill this guy before you do anything else down here. No matter which direction you go, he will follow behind you. And here, we have a friendly. You're not attacking us.
Well now, you seem to have your wits about you, hmm? Then you are a welcome customer. I trade for souls. Everything's for sale.
We have our first merchant. The Undead Merchant of the Berg.
Things are getting treacherous in these parts. A horrible goat demon has moved in below. And up above, there's that humongous drake and a bull demon too. If you stick around this place, it might end up being your grave.
Good advice. We already saw the drake. It appeared right over there, but...
Here, I'm not here to chit-chat. We talk business, or we talk nothing at all.
Okay. Well, let's take a look. Now, this guy sells some basic stuff, and I will want to buy some things from him for later. Not right now, though. So, some items you want to pick up if you're playing Remastered. You want to buy the Orange Guidance Soapstone. You can leave messages to other players that way. If you are also playing Remastered, you'll see an extra item in this list that he doesn't have here. He will have an item called a Dried Finger for 2,000 souls. Use that if you're planning on doing a lot of PvPing or fight clubs. That's the main thing that item's used for. The dried knuckles are in this version of the game, but they're somewhere else. You can't buy them. You have to find them on a corpse. And we won't be seeing that for a while. Even if we could get the dried knuckle now, it'd be useless because Prepare to Die Edition has no functional online. The main thing we're interested in is the 3 items inside his key items tab. The Residence Key, the Repair Box, and the Bottomless Box. We will be back for these later. Let's see, he's also got some basic weapons. If you are not able to sequence break and get the longbow, or you're not a hunter and don't start with a bow, you can buy a short bow from this guy, as well as a stock of arrows. I actually do want to buy a weapon from him. You can get a heater shield here, too, probably the best shield in his stock. I want to come back here at some point later and purchase a reinforced club. But I won't be doing that right now. I also want to stock up on standard arrows later. He sells the chain set if you care. But the main things we're interested in are all 3 of the key items, a reinforced club, and a full stack of standard arrows. But we don't have the souls for that right now.
What a waste of time. Go and fall off a cliff.
I'll be back, don't worry. Something to note is you can kill friendly NPCs. And most of the time when you kill them, they will drop humanity, and sometimes they'll drop other items. A common speedrunning trick, if you are playing a dex build, is to kill this guy, because he drops a really good dex-based weapon, arguably the best dexterity weapon in the game. You can buy it from a hidden merchant later, but this guy here is the earliest chance you have to get it. I'm going to try and not murder NPCs without a good reason. So I'm not going to kill this guy. That'd just be rude. Okay, down here we have a big mob of hollows. These guys are mainly dangerous from their swarming tendencies. Another one of their big dangers is what people refer to as their blender attack. I'll see if I can get one of them to do it to show it off. Not to get hit by it, of course, but... You're still living, so let's see. Will you do the blender for me? Not that one. Do the blender, please. That one. Yeah, if you get hit by all of those, that's gonna sting. And if you get surrounded by these guys and they all do the blender, rest in peace, you. Alright, so we come down this way, we find this ladder that takes us all the way up here. That's where we came through earlier through the fog wall. You can see kind of where we are now. Corpse up here with some useless throwing knives. Main problem with throwing knives is they don't have very good range, so they're not good for sniping. Alright, so you want to line yourself up with that entryway there. Sprint and jump. You'll clear the gap. And clear your way into here. And we'll get another ranged weapon we can use. A light crossbow and some standard bolts. Generally speaking, when it comes to ranged attacks, I generally prefer bows. I don't like throwing knives because they don't have good range. I don't like crossbows because crossbows can't ADS, you can't free aim with them. And crossbows also don't have any scaling, which for the most part makes them really, really bad. There is one specific crossbow that actually benefits from that, but it's considered like the ultimate crossbow. So normally, if you're playing the game the way you're supposed to, that ladder is not there. That ladder will still be up top. We kicked that down when we sequence broke over to this area. And if we so wanted to, we could climb up that ladder and begin farming souls. I would want to farm about 5,000 souls, I think, to purchase... Well, let's see. It's 5,000 for the key items, 350 for the club, and I think roughly 10,000 for a full stack of arrows. So... yeah, it'd be about 16,000 souls, roughly, for what he's got, but... I'm gonna try and backstab this guy. Didn't work. Okay, so you may have noticed that guy was kind of reaching into his non-existent back pocket. These hollow enemies all have Estus flasks, and they will heal themselves with them if you let them. Something else to also note about playing the remastered version specifically, because like I said, Prepare to Die doesn't have online. If you are playing remastered and you are trying to run through here as a human, play offline. The Berg is a PvP hotspot, mostly due to twinks trying to find easy prey. And the whole... Oh, that wasn't good. The whole... Whoa. Whew. The whole, weapon system determining matchmaking was designed to prevent that, but said twinks just exploited it to make it even easier to find easy prey. You opened that door late. Usually he kicks that door in the second you go into the room. So you end up having to fight 3 enemies instead of just 2. Okay, so I'm going to close this door behind me. This trick does not work in Remastered. They fixed it. He only kicks the door down the first time you go in there. In Prepare to Die Edition, if you close that door, his AI won't recognize that the door is supposed to be there, or that the door is closed, and he'll just run into it until you open the door. They fixed that little quirk in Remastered. He will actually open the door if you try to pull that trick and close it. Black Firebomb. I believe I mentioned in the previous episode that Black Firebombs emulate the Fire Orb spell. Regular Firebombs emulate the Fireball spell. And speaking of Firebombs, this guy is being really dumb. Because this guy here, the reason he's so aggressive is he's supposed to be a ranged attacker supplementing these guys by throwing firebombs at you, but he didn't. I don't know why. So you want to watch out for the... Oh, we got a community. You want to watch out for the hollow soldiers that have a broken straight sword, or they have a sword at all. Those, like the regular hollows, can do the blender attack if you're not careful. Now, ordinarily, you need to buy the residence key from the merchant to open that door, but since we have the master key, we can just saunter right on in. You want to go up this tower? Kill that idiot before he hits us in the head. One at a time, please. Ooh. You timed that really well. Ouch. Okay, so I'm at really low health here. I want to be careful because there's a trap up here. You may notice there's a barrel up there. They wouldn't pull the same trap from the asylum, would they? Yes, they definitely would. Okay, so you notice there's a staircase going up. That's where we need to go. There's also a staircase going down. I'm not going to go down here, but you'll notice there's a Black Knight down there. We'll be back for him later. His presence there is more important than the item he's guarding. The item he's guarding is basically worthless. But he himself is actually somebody we'll want to come back to later. He can potentially drop some good stuff. Now, something else you want to take note of here if you're looking for rare drops, this particular barrel. This barrel has a crystal lizard in it. We're going to let him get away because I want to fight those things later when I can maximize my drop chance. Let's take a swig of Estus real quick. Go through here. Now, I don't believe I actually covered crystal lizards too much. I'll discuss that while I'm clearing out the enemies inside this area, because you'll see there's a couple of snipers up here. Crystal lizards are little bonus enemies that you can kill. To put it in terms of other RPGs, If you guys are familiar with more classic RPG series, they're kind of a combination of a metal slime from Dragon Quest and various like money pinatas from other RPGs. They run away from you on sight, but they drop really good stuff if you can kill them. Generally speaking, they are the only source of twinkling titanite for most of the game, but they can also drop other forge materials. And what they drop is somewhat fixed. You can kind of manipulate it by increasing your drop rate. Okay, so I want to see, can I do this and still fast roll? Yes, I can. So this boss, there's really no point in trying to block it. You can, but it eats so much stamina, you may as well not bother. So I'm going to go for a two-handed approach. Because this being the first proper boss fight of the game, it's also a gimmick. Because you may have noticed, we have this huge ladder here leading to the top of a tower. This dude's a chump. This is the kind of thing you could have done to the Asylum Demon at the very start. Whoop. Whoa, okay, he missed. Good, good. Now, if you wanted to be cheeky, you could actually trick him into falling off the arena here with all the various little holes that are on the side here. I prefer doing this the bullfight method, which is fitting because this is the bull demon that the merchant was talking about. You can lure him over to that side of the arena, bait him into doing a jump attack, and then run all the way back here to get another plunge on him. This should take about 3 passes. Now, he's probably going to hit me here. Woo! He missed. Okay, he did his really wide swing. We can probably take 1 hit on the ladder. I actually might just be able to kill him in 2 passes if I stab him twice. Let's see. Oh, yeah, you're dead. Or he would be. Whoop! Now you're dead. No damage, let's go. I think that's the first time in a long time I've no damaged that guy. He usually snags me on the ladder. But he's the reason I brought the halberd. Otherwise, you'd have to use one of your starter weapons, which don't deal nearly as much damage in 2 hands. If you can actually equip it two-handed, the Zweihander will just destroy him, but it's really heavy. Where's my falchion? There it is. That bridge should look familiar. There's also a body hidden inside these boxes. They pull that trick a couple of times. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and warn you right now. Step out onto the bridge and then immediately backtrack and go this way. Because, look who it is. Just completely obliterated all those dudes on the bridge. And hey, another friendly face. Not just any friendly face, the friendly face.
Ah, hello. You don't look hollow, far from it. I am Solaire of Astora, an adherent of the Lord of Sunlight. Now that I am undead, I have come to this great land, the birthplace of Lord Gwyn, to seek my very own son. You find that strange? Well, you should. No need to hide your reaction. I get that look all the time.
Are you sure about that whole I don't look hollow bit? I look like a walking piece of jerky.
Oh, aha. So I didn't scare you. I have a proposition, if you have a moment.
I mean, you're a little strange, but I wouldn't exactly say you're scary.
The way I see it, our fates appear to be intertwined. In a land brimming with hollows, could that really be mere chance? So what do you say? Why not help one another on this lonely journey?
Sure.
This pleases me greatly. Well then, take this.
You're the first guy who has actually offered to help me for no cost to you. Or, yeah, no cost to me.
We are amidst strange beings in a strange land. The flow of time itself is convoluted, with heroes centuries old phasing in and out. The very fabric wavers, and relations shift and obscure. There's no telling how much longer your world and mine will remain in contact. But use this to summon one another as spirits, cross the gaps between the worlds, and engage in jolly cooperation. Of course, we are not the only ones engaged in this, but I am a warrior of the sun. Spot my summon signature easily by its brilliant aura. If you miss it, you must be blind.
Good old Solaire, the Sun Bro.
Oh, hello there. I will stay behind to gaze at the sun. The sun is a wondrous body, like a magnificent father. If only I could be so grossly incandescent.
The God Rays are beautiful, I'll give you that. Yeah, everybody loves Solaire. There is no quicker way to establish yourself as an asshole than killing him on the spot right here. If he wrecks you, you deserve it, because why would you kill him? He's awesome. But anyway, this is a fairly classic From Software trap. I think they did this in Demon Souls too. The dragon on the bridge. Whoa! Looks like you missed a guy. Now, if you're playing this the way the game intended you to, you would come down here and kick this ladder down, and that would get you access to the bonfire. That particular bonfire, combined with the ladder, will allow us to farm souls, because the soldiers on the bridge will always come back. Whereas the dragon will stay there until you go into the little chamber underneath him. Which I believe we opened that up when we passed through here the first time, because we came in from behind. And we will have business with the Drake later, but for now, he's just kind of there. He's a set piece, if nothing else. Okay, this is going to be a bit tricky. I need you to come over here, please. I can't exactly fight that guy there, because my sword will bounce off the wall. I can't parry a shield bash. I can parry that, though. Haha, fool. Good riddance. Okay, now we got rats to deal with. Now, unfortunately, rats can't be parried. Come here, rats. I want to fight them over here where there's more space. Because they will actually follow you out here. Ow. Ugh. They don't do a whole lot of damage at this point because the armor is really good, but dang if they'll poison you if you let them. Whew. I don't want to get killed by these guys again. Once is enough. Okay, so when you're coming through here, you have a staircase going up to the top of this tower. I'm going to suggest you do not go up there. There is another Black Knight up there. We're going to want to kill him later. Because the Black Knights are unique enemies. Once you kill them, they don't come back. Now, as you see, by coming in here, we actually make the Drake fly off. There is a way to get in there when the Drake is on the bridge. I can't exactly show it off because he's already up there, but basically what you do is these two niches here on the side of the bridge are safe. So you stand here, because you'll come up here, he'll try breathing fire, you either hide underneath the stairs or you cut across real quick. You'll be safe from the flames here. You stand behind this pillar for about 30 seconds or so. Eventually the dragon will get sick of you hiding like a coward and jump onto the bridge. And then when he does that, you have to sprint underneath him, during which time he'll probably get an attack off, and he usually opens up with a charge attack across the bridge. That attack might wing you, but you should be able to get through here, and then immediately run into the side, because if you're not quick enough, he'll actually start breathing fire into this room. But once you get to a point where he can't reach you, he will give up and fly off like he did there, which will give you access to that bonfire and the switch to open that portcullis. Now, ordinarily, I would have leveled up after fighting the Taurus Demon. However, there is a bunch of stuff I want to do before doing that. Because I want to try and get as much content squeezed into this video as I can before starting on a grind fest. Because normally, after killing Taurus Demon, I do my first round of soul farming to get all the key items from the merchant as well as a full stack of arrows. But I don't want that. I don't want this episode being too short. Let's see, I think I hear Pumbaa. Yep, there he is. Okay, that guy's just being really slow, so he's not a threat. It's the guys up here that are the problem. Now again, because we came back, we came through here backwards, we actually killed the guy who would have closed that gate. Ooh, you tried. Now you actually can get like odd angle parries. I've done it before. Whoa, what was that? Yeah, ordinarily there's a hollow warrior or hollow soldier, I think these guys are. There's a hollow soldier that'll run past that portcullis and pull a lever to close it, but we killed him, so that's not going to be a problem. Hollow soldier armor. Now, to deal with Pumbaa down there, we actually have these alluring skulls. This is probably the easiest way to kill him. And this will probably be the first time where I use the binoculars. Now, however, I'm going to deal with you first, because I don't need you stabbing me in the back while I'm trying to kill your beast of war down there. Okay. So, in order to get rid of Pumbaa, you notice there is a huge blazing pile of bodies right there. That's not for show. That fire will actually do damage. So what we want to do is we want to try and get into a location where we can kind of aim down at it. And the binoculars help with that somewhat, but angling the camera downward should get the job done. Now you don't want to get too close to the edge when you do this because what I'm about to do does move you forward a bit. But as for dealing with that big pig, let's take a look at the alluring skull. A skull with meekly lingering souls. Throw to shatter and spread souls to attract certain types of enemies. Souls are a concentration of life, and the life-starved hollows are lured by its power. Not effective for all enemies. This is a distraction. You throw that there in the flames, the boar will run right into the fire to try and get to him. Now, if you actually angle it right, you can keep him stuck there for a while. You don't want to throw him too quickly, though, because otherwise he just won't respond. There you go. You get him stuck in like that, where he's constantly charging the wall. Bingo. So much for being Big Bacon's big brother. Alright, well that's the only use for alluring skulls, so I probably won't be using those again. Let's see. About the item we got from Solaire, the White Sign Soapstone. Online play item, so useless for us. Leave summon sign. Be summoned to another world as a phantom through your sign and defeat the area boss to acquire humanity. Hollows cannot conduct summons. Note it does not say hollows cannot use the item. You can lay down your sign while you're hollow. Somebody summoning you and you helping them fight the boss is one way to get your humanity back. Specifically, how that works is defeating the boss as a summoned phantom gives you 1 liquid humanity, which you can then use to get your humanity back. In Lordran, the flow of time is distorted, and the White Sign Soapstone allows undead to assist one another. Unfortunately, we can't use that because, like I said, no online functionality, so there's no purpose, aside from just a placeholder. You know what? It's a nicer looking placeholder than the, Huh? I can actually put this down here? That should be grayed out. I'm not online. Huh. Very strange. But anyway, so we're going to go through here assuming the portcullis is closed. So you would have to go down here. And there's a bunch of regular hollows, and you'll notice that guy starts by running away from you. I think the reason these guys are in weird positions is they got attracted by the alluring skull through the floor. But the fact that that first hollow we saw was running away from us should be a tip-off that this is a trap, because every single one of these guys otherwise has attacked us on sight. And we get a mystery key. The purpose of this key is unknown. It appears to be a basic prison cell key. Well, if we find a prison cell, we'll know what to do with that. Every time they do the blender, they basically just signpost so hard, they may as well be holding up a giant neon sign saying, "Parry me, please!" And here's our white light. That indicates we're about halfway through the Parish area. And here we have a new enemy at the end of this corridor. We've fought one of his cousins, or one of an alternate version of these guys, but these are not standard hollow soldiers. These are a different breed of cat altogether. These are Balder Knights. And there are two different kinds. Ooh, I got a humanity. Thank you. Night Shield. Night Shields are pretty crap. They're worse than the Heater Shield. Let's see. I think the stability is less, and it weighs more. Let's see. 5.5, 56 stability, 130, 60, 40. Compared to the Heater Shield... Yeah, the Heater Shield only has 1 point less stability, a lot less weight, better fire and lightning resistance than the Night Shield does. Night Shield's just kind of crap. But this particular Balder Knight here is the rapier-wielding variety. Be very careful if you're fighting these things head-on. If you see them kind of walking sideways with them kind of holding the sword out in front of their face and pointing it at you, that's a parry stance. Don't attack them when they're doing that. Otherwise, they will parry and riposte you. And at this point, getting riposted, if you're not at full health, will probably just outright kill you. I believe they are the first enemies that you are expected to fight that can do that. Technically speaking, the skeletons in the graveyard can also do that, but most of the time they're usually too busy trying to flay you alive. Alright, so over here we have a pincer attack. There's a hollow spear soldier on the right and a Balder Knight with a sword on the left. This is a side sword Balder Knight. Oh, you survived! Fix that little mistake. Drop anything? Nope. I actually do want to farm the... Uh-oh. Ooh, he nearly killed me there. Ooh. Might need to use an Estus. This is getting a little dicey. Ooh. Good thing a +2 Estus at this point is basically a full heal. Alright, so about this particular Baldr Knight, the one that has that sword of theirs is called the Side Sword. I actually do want to farm them for a specific item they can drop. If I get the sword, nice, but that's not what I'm specifically looking for. I'm actually looking for their shields. Their shield is really good. Oh yeah, no. I can't even... might need the S-Stock for these guys, actually. He's gonna Estus. Yep. Okay, Baldr Leggings. I don't care about those. I'm gonna swap to the S-Stock, because I'm pretty sure... Yeah. The S-Stock can probably one-shot these guys on riposte. Let's find that one. Gotcha! I think that's just barely enough to kill him. Yep, there we go. Titanite Shard. They also drop Titanite for free, which we actually will be getting to what Titanite is used for. Oh, that wasn't good. Yeah, 203. This can one-shot him. Very nice. You didn't drop anything either. That's unfortunate. Alright, let's go back to the Falchion. And I want to go around this way. This area should start looking familiar, because we came through here backwards in the previous episode when we came here to get the halberd. Watch out for that crossbowman. Yeah, we can't just one-shot dudes with backstabs anymore. You're probably going to Estus. Nope. You're being stupid. I want to head this way. And hear that sweet, sweet sound of hammer on anvil. And here we get to meet another friendly face. And the first blacksmith you're supposed to come across that isn't hidden. There's technically a blacksmith you can find that's earlier than him, but he's in an area you wouldn't think to look in because you would otherwise have no reason to go to where he is. I'll show you him later.
Well, you must be a new arrival. I'm Andre of Astora. If you require smithing, then speak to me.
Okay, Andre. Well, let's learn a gesture from you first. Hurrah! So, what do you have to say? What's going on around here?
Most weapons and armor are mighty sturdy indeed, but every hunk of metal has its breaking point. If you notice durability running low, it's time to repair. You can ask a blacksmith like myself, or do it on your own with a grindstone. The nice thing about weapons, they never betray you, so pay them a little respect, eh? There are two types of weapon forging. There's reinforcement and there's ascension. Reinforcement is simple. It strengthens the weapon and nothing more. A simple task for any blacksmith. Hell, you could even do it yourself with a Smithbox. But ascension's a finer art. It alters a weapon's properties. Ascension is the territory of we blacksmiths. A Smithbox just won't do the trick. Start out with reinforcement. When that loses its charm, you can consider ascension. As you've noticed, this land is flush with the mad and wicked. You won't make it through the night without employing my services. You can forge armor just like you do weapons. Forging armor is even easier than forging weapons. Whether you forge weapons or armor first, well, that's up to you. But nobody wants to see you go hollow. So whatever you do, You'd better do it well.
Okay.
But no,
He's run out of stuff to say. So, Andre is kind of the first real blacksmith you're meant to interact with. I mentioned that before. I'll go over weapon and armor enhancement probably in the next episode, because we can't really do that right now. We can do that with him, but I'm more interested in what he has to sell. So, you can buy Titanite shards from him, 800 souls a pop. So, my suggestion would be, if you're looking for Titanite, is farm the enemies in the church area of the Parish, where all the Baldur Knights hang out. The Baldur Knights and the Hollow Soldiers around there can potentially drop Titanite for free, and every 800 souls you get can be used to buy another one. However, the main thing we're interested in from him, besides the Titanite, is all the stuff he's got in the Key Items tab here. The big one is the Crest of Artorias. As you can see, that's 20,000 souls. That's one of the main reasons I'm going to be doing some off-screen grinding back at the Drake Bridge. Or off-screen soul farming, I should say. I'm not grinding for levels, but I do need the souls to purchase that. I also need to get the weapon and armor Smithbox. He sells the Repairbox, which the Undead merchant also sells, but I'll get it from the merchant, no problem. He's got a few weapons, if you care. I'm probably not going to be purchasing any weapons from him, and you can also buy standard arrows from him too, but I'll probably just only really be buying Titanite and the 2 Smithboxes and the Crest of Artorias. There's just a lot going on here.
I'll be seeing you then. Be careful out there.
So again, I'm not going to be doing any level ups yet. I do want to clear out at least the rest of the Parish and level up real quick before doing any soul farming, because there's a lot of farming I have to do. I not only have to farm souls, I have to farm items. While I'm farming souls, I'll be farming humanity too, because the bridge where the Drake is, that is considered part of the Parish. So as long as the Parish's boss isn't dead, the Drake killing the soldiers on the bridge will occasionally give you a humanity drop. Okay. I'm going to swap to the S-Stock because, yeah, the S-Stock's probably just going to be better for dealing with the general enemies around here. Okay, do I have a blunt weapon of some kind? I don't think I have a strike weapon. The Morning Star would be a strike weapon if it didn't do thrust damage, courtesy of all the spikes. The Morning Star might be my best bet because the Morning Star does bleed. So I can probably kill this guy in here via bleed procs. We encountered this guy earlier. He was the guy guarding the Firekeeper soul. I actually do want to kill him. He's a unique enemy. He's a guaranteed Titanite shard drop, and I think he can sometimes drop some of his equipment. Now you'll notice we're not doing a whole lot of damage per swing. Now you can parry his swings. Ooh, I prefer not to. Ow, that's what happens when you run out of stamina while blocking. I prefer not to parry him because you can't riposte him. He's too big. So I prefer just getting out of his way, blocking his attacks, circle strafing, trying to get behind him. Now, if I hit him enough, he will eventually get a bleed proc. Okay, we poise broke him. That's something. Now, his really heavy armor set there gives him a lot of bleed resistance, I'm sure. So, come on. Get away from the wall, please. I think he might be trying to get distance so he can... Yep, he's using an SS. Called it. Whew. Yeah, I didn't have enough stamina to block that there, so... There we go. So you notice how it went from 21 to 78? That was a bleed proc. There we go. Free Titanite shard, 800 souls. He's dead. He'll never come back. Alright. Falchion back. Go with the S-Stock instead, actually. say that... Whoa! Okay, so you probably heard that chew noise. Yeah, there's a dude up there shooting at us. I want to kill these guys before going up there to deal with him. Okay. Okay, so normally my preferred method of dealing with that guy up there is using a ranged weapon and just having a sniper duel with him. But since I don't have any arrows, that's not exactly a good prospect. So we're going to be going up here and dealing with him the old-fashioned way. Now, that guy up there is actually the core component of a trap up here. Ow! Okay, he's doing his parry stance. I need you to come up here. This guy might kill me if I'm not careful. Okay. Okay, you may have heard that kind of thing he was doing. I'm gonna drink real quick. Thank you for giving me the chance. Alright, so the next thing, can I use the wing spear? I cannot use the weapon effectively with present stats. I need 16 dex, I think, to use that. No, 15. Okay, so I can't use that. I can use the S-stock, though. So, there's a unique property with thrusting swords like the S-stock and spears. You can attack with them while your shield's up. You'll just kind of poke out from behind your shield. It costs more stamina to do it that way, but you can still maintain protection while you're attacking the enemy. Now, something to note, you'll see the hollows and the little spellcaster dude. You may notice a kind of blue shimmer. That spellcasting guy is called a channeler. That weapon of his is a channeler's trident, and it has a special attack. Oh, well, there he goes. Oh, that's actually very advantageous. He fell off. Let's see. I want to use... I can't parry him. So let's go with the Morning Star instead. Now we have to be really careful, because you notice he tried to do a goofy-looking little dance. That dance is a special attack of the Channeler's Trident. And when he uses that attack, or that special ability, it gives a weapon, or not a weapon, but a damage buff to everything in range. And the initial trap that is up there, as you may have noticed, ow, there was a bunch of regular hollows up there. Not too dangerous on their own, unless there's a whole bunch of them kind of grouped up. But with this guy there giving him a damage buff, oh, you must have some bleed resistance. Either that or that little jump of his with a dodge. And he somehow managed to dodge a bleed proc. Okay, good. We got this guy down. Oh, we got a bot here too. Let's show you our Morning Star of Banning. Goodbye. Idiot, got a ban proc. Tisk tisk. Okay, so that actually went way nicer than it normally does. Because normally he doesn't fall off like an idiot. But what he's there for is he's there to buff all of those hollows that are up there. There's a large crowd of them. They'll all kind of come after you, and the enhanced damage equals more stamina damage as well. So they'll break your guard really easy because there's just so many of them, and they'll just cut you to ribbons. So it looks like the effect is over, so we should be able to just kind of take these guys out one at a time. But as you can see, a weapon with a longer reach is definitely helpful here. There's just a lot of them. Oh. And they can clip you like that too if you're not careful. If I had the wing spear, this would be... Actually, the halberd probably would have worked as well, but... Can't do the little pokey-pokey with the halberd. Yeah, I think these guys have hit me twice so far. If that Chandler was still alive and buffing them with his goofy dance, those 2 hits would have been all it would have taken to kill me. Because it gives them a pretty sizable damage boost. Whew. This doesn't look conspicuous, does it? So what's up here? Oh, a dude in a jail cell.
Oh, still human, are you? Then I am in luck. Could you help me? As you can see, I am stuck without recourse.
How'd you get stuck in here?
Please, I have duties to fulfill, and I will reward you handsomely. Well, I am certain you stand to benefit.
Tell me why you're in there first.
Please.
I mean, he is begging, basically, so sure, we'll open the door.
Thank you. Yes, sincerely. I am Knight Lautrec of Karim. I truly appreciate this, and I guarantee a reward. Only later.
Okay, will you tell me why you're in there now?
Yes, very sorry. Your reward will have to wait. I've just been freed. Allow me some time.
I guess not, but that's okay. Yeah, that's what that mystery key is for. I think if you have the master key, you can just open that up that way. But now that we've freed him, we can actually pay him a visit in another area, because he'll move on his own. So let's head back to Firelink Shrine. Because y'all remember this elevator. Okay, I want to wait for that to go back up. Thank you. Send that back up, make the one on the, I think that's on the left. Yeah, make the one on the left come down. I prefer riding the one on the left. Just in case I need to head back up to the top layers of Firelink for whatever reason. Oh yeah, well I'm thinking about it. Let's see. We have Hurrah, Shrug. Hey, you got anything new to say?
Don't you ever think to forge your weapons? You'd better find a Smithbox soon, unless you enjoy swinging about with blunt instruments. How did that silly sorcerer's apprentice end up? You know, the one always prattling on about Master Logan. He left for the Undead Burg, but never came back. Serves him right. If even old Big Hat can't make it out there, what chance does he have? I hope he enjoys his new life as a hollow.
We pretty thoroughly scoured the burg and the parish. We didn't meet any wizard, at least nobody that looked like a wizard's apprentice. I mean, there was that channeler up there, but I don't know. He didn't look like an apprentice to me. But yeah, if we go down here, Lautrec has moved to Firelink. He's safe now. How you doing, buddy?
Ah, hello there. I have your reward. Please, accept it.
Thank you.
I am grateful to you for freeing me. Not enough for you? Well, let's not be greedy now. By the Lords, your face. Your humanity is really slipping, but there are methods. Most fools have more humanity than they know what to do with. Now, who do you imagine will make the best use of it?
Oh, I'm well aware I could become human at any time. I just don't care right now.
You again. What is it? Our futures are murky. Let's not be too friendly now.
I'm sure you're completely trustworthy. Anyway, I mainly came here to get my Estus back. Okay. So, I want to make way towards the Parish, because I want to go... Parish would get me more souls, I think. So yeah, let's go to the Parish. And I actually want to take a look and do some calculations here to figure out exactly how many souls I'm going to need. Because I'm going to need to make a lot of purchases. And I'm also going to need to farm a bunch of items. Let's see, because I know I'm going to need to farm up to 10 humanity, which I can get from the bridge. A majority of the souls I can also get from the bridge. And then, once I have 10 humanity, I can start farming items, because humanity is tied to your item discovery, which influences how likely enemies are to drop stuff. I believe I mentioned the first 10 liquid humanity will give you a pretty sizable boost to your item discovery, which is going to be very helpful during this early section here, because we have a lot of farming to do. Can't do anything against a shield bash. Okay. Let's go ahead and get a shopping list together, so that way we know exactly what it is we're looking for. I'll go, Andre.
Well, hello again. You seem to be doing all right. Need anything forged?
I'm just going to, like, creepily get closer to you as I try to orient myself correctly. Alright, so let's take a look. Let's see. So we're going to need 20,000 for the crest, 24,000 total for those. He doesn't have any weapons that I want. So we need 24,000 souls to purchase everything from Andre. So let me go ahead and get this going. Let's see. That's 24,000 for everything from Andre. I believe the standard arrows are always at 10, so we'll say another 10,000 souls for the arrows. So that's 34,000.
I'll be seeing you then. Be careful out there.
It's expensive, but a full stack of standard arrows will last us for more or less the entire game. So might as well just go ahead and stock up on them now. If I really wanted to be a cheapskate, I could purchase wooden arrows, which wouldn't last us nearly as long, but you can get them for cheap in bulk. Because I think they're like 3 souls a piece. Or something like that, so... Let's see, we need 34,000 souls, and then we need to see... I think it's 5,000 souls to get everything from the merchant and the burg. So let's head to the burg real quick and see what we can do about that. It'll just be easier to go this way to get to that guy, so... I think I timed that basically perfectly. Like a frame too late and that would have hit my shield. I was about to say, I knew that guy was coming down. Sir, you seem to be stuck. Oh yeah, he's like really stuck. He's stuck like right there. There we go, down you go. You gonna chuck another firebomb at me? Yes, you are. Let's see if I can get him a little closer. Oh, I timed that very badly. Now, despite the fact that these are humanoid enemies, because the Taurus Demon is dead, they won't drop random liquid humanities anymore. So I'm just killing them because they're getting in my way. Alright, so we're gonna have to deal with this trap again, but that's fine. Did stream crash? What happened? My stream just paused. Let me check something real quick. Did stream crash? No, I think it just froze. Let's see. Yeah, no, it just froze. Sorry about that. Okay. Alright, let's go see what the merchant's got, and then we can get our shopping list made. Dumbass. Don't forget about this guy with the axe. He will attack you while you're shopping. Alright, hello again.
Oh, there you are. Still keeping your marbles all together? Then go ahead, don't be a nitwit. Never hurts to splurge when your days are numbered.
Okay, so let me see what I need to buy from you. Let's see. We're going to need 1,000 for the residence key, 3,000 for the repair box, and 1,000 for the bottomless box. I think the repair box is actually cheaper from Andre looking at it. Because it's 3,000 from this guy, and 2,000 I think from Andre. So let's see. The residence key, that's going to be an extra 2,000 for those. Now, I'm going to go back to Andre real quick, because I'm pretty sure Andre's was 2,000. Let me actually look it up real quick, because I think I could look up his inventory and see if that's the case. So, let's see. Is that true? So, that's the repair box. Let's see. Yeah, Andre sells it for cheaper, so I can get it cheaper from him. That's good to know. Okay. So that's an extra 2,000. So I'm going to need 38,000 souls to get all my purchases done. So that's not too bad.
Throw me a bone, will you? You haven't got much time anyway. Right, Julia?
I'll be back, don't worry. I was just checking your wares, that's all. Alright, so yeah, we need 38,000 souls, 10 liquid humanity. We also specifically need those shields that the Baldur Knights drop. We need one of those. And yeah, that should complete my shopping list. So I actually want to go up here. I don't think he'll come back, but he might. So let's see. Will he come back with me having left the area? We'll be able to tell if we come up here. We should be... Yep, he came back. Ooh, nice. We got a humanity. Very cool. Hey, can you do that again? Thank you. So, when he... I'm going to show you how this is going to work after I level up. So, let's go ahead and do that. I was checking mainly to see if he'd come back, because usually you have to leave the game and come back for him to return after sending him away like that. I'm not even going to bother putting that on a hot slot. It's just one soul. So, let's see. Soul of a Nameless Soldier. Pop this. And let's see what we can get in the level up department. So, let's see. I need to get 16 dex. A little bit late for the wing spear, but what can you do? Let's see. Okay. Want to get my endurance up. I want to get 16 endurance, and then I want to get 16 vitality, but I'm probably not going to be getting any more levels for now. Okay. So here's how this farming is going to work, and why I'm going to do it off-screen. So basically, it's start at the bonfire, go up here, climbing the ladder really slowly, and then come all the way up here, poke your head out, duck back down. The Drake will do some kind of attack that clears the entire bridge, and because he's doing so much damage, you're guaranteed to get overkill on the enemies, and you will always get 555 souls. So I'm basically going to be doing that for probably the next hour or so, or however long it takes, because I need 38,000 souls and 10 liquid humanity. So that ought to be fun. By the time I actually get all the souls from here, I might have more than 10. We'll just have to see. I'd like to have 11, but 10 is the minimum. But I'm going to be doing all that off-screen because that's just a lot to do. It's very front-loaded, so I'll stop it here. It's a little early. I'm pretty sure Kayla's probably still streaming Faz, so I can probably throw a raid her way, so that's probably what we'll do. And then while you and guys enjoy a good sort of like ghosty adventure, I'll be here running up and down a staircase and climbing up and down a ladder, taunting a dragon breathing fire on me because he can't hit the broadside of a barn. So anyway, I will see y'all next time. Have a good night, everybody, and sleep well.